Question 3. We're giving a table with loads of activities and the immediately preceding activities. And for part A, we need to draw the activity network described in the precedence table above. Using activity on arc, your activity network must contain the minimum number of dummies. So we're looking at this table that we've got here, and we can see that A and B can both start immediately. So we can have them both coming out from a source node. So we're going to put our mark on there, and then I'm going to have A coming up here, and I'm going to have B going down here in my network. Then we can see for C to happen, I need A to have finished. I also can then start D and E because they all need A to finish. But just looking a little bit further down the table, I can see that F and G both need B and C to have finished. So when I'm going to position my C, I'm going to have that coming down to finish at the same time as B. So now that allows me for F and G to come out of here. D, I'm going to just have going up here. And E, I'm going to have coming down here. So then we get to F, we need B and C to have finished. And G can come out. I'm just looking to see what other things might rely on these. I can see that I and J need D, E, F, and G, but K only needs G. So I'm going to have G coming out and going into the same location as E. So F goes in there. And I'm going to have G coming down here. So now looking, we've got H, which just needs D to finish. I'm looking down, nothing else needs H to finish. So that can go into my final point. So H can go down here. Then I needs D, E, F, and G. Well, D, E, F, and G, they're not connected, so I'm going to have to put some dummies in now. So I'm going to put in a dummy going down here. And I'm also going to put in a dummy going here. Now this means that I and J can both come out of here. And then I can see nothing depends on I, so that can go straight in there. Nothing depends on J, but I can't have them going from the same source to the same end. So therefore, I'm going to have to put another dummy in here. So I'm going to have my value of J going down here. I can see that K just needs G to have finished. So G is going to go in here. Sorry, K is going to go in here. And then we're going to have another dummy going there. So now I've got my full network displayed. Your may look slightly differently depending on how you space yours out. I'd recommend starting this in pencil because you might want to move some of the lines around, and also just giving a look to see what other things depend on those activities. So it then says every activity shown in the precedence table has the same duration. Explain why B cannot be critical. So we've got some lines on the next page here. So if we just have a little look at our activity network and what's going on here, F and G both rely on both B and C. So these two activities rely on both of these. But for C to finish, A has to have already finished. So if this is a duration 1, then this is another duration 1. So that's duration 2. So F and G can earliest they start is at 2 because I need A and C to have finished. But B only takes 1. So therefore it can't be critical. So there's going to be some float times in there. So therefore that is why B cannot be critical. So let's put this down. So activity F and G require B and the two activities A and C to be completed before they can begin. As all activities take the same time individually, A and C will take twice as long as B, and therefore B is not critical. So then for part C, it says state which other activities are not critical. So we're going to have a little look at our activity network again to try and help us with this. Well, let's take them all. So we know that B cannot, but we know that A and C are likely to be. But then if we look, so what I'm going to do to kind of help me work out this is kind of like, well, if that was 1, then that's another 1. So by the time I get to this node here, that's 1. By the time I get to this node here is 2, but that is also 1. So 1 and 1 there. And then to get in here, it's going to be another 1, so I can get there at 3. To get here is another 1, so I get there at 3, but that's a dummy, so that's still at 3. To get here is 2, so E can't be critical because that's less than the 3. To get here is 1, so 2, so D can't be critical because I can be there at 2. To get there, another 1. So we're at 1, 2, 3 here at the moment. But we're already at 3 here, that's 1, so that gets me to 4, so that goes, so therefore that can't be critical. J down is 1, that keeps me at 4 there. K, we're at 3, add on the 1, gets me 4 there. So therefore D, E, and H cannot be critical. And I've just done that by quickly working my way round. And because I know they're all the same length, I can say whatever length I want. So I'm just saying duration 1 here. And I'm working out, well, is there going to be any float time depending on those activities? So therefore, the activities which are not critical are D, E, and H. The other activities, obviously B, we've already worked out.